Good morning, students. Myself Dr.Bhavana from MSIT department, and today I am covering the topic fundamental of artificial neural network, and the reference book which I will recommend for artificial intelligence is by Rich E. Knight. The publication is by Tata Megra, and the second book which I will refer will be the Artificial Intelligence by Peter Norvig, and these books are very suitable for processing or starting the fundamentals of artificial neural network. Today we will cover the topic interdisciplinary sources of inspirations for this representation. Okay, as we know that ANN are inspired by the way neuron system works in human or animal. Okay, so ANN we start working or thinking about artificial neural network by inspired or inspiring from the neural system which works in human, as well as they also work in animals also. So ANN are inspired by the way neuron system works in human or animal nervous system as integrated in neuroscience. This is already discussed, and it is discussed in very wide form in neuroscience, and there is a separate branch for this study. And we have gone through this study, and we have gone through this department and have seen how it works. And by inspiring from there, we thought of making or coming in artificial neural network, because as we know that we saw that computers work very well when we used to give them instructions. So based on this instruction, we thought that they should think about like human being also. So we work on that. So a neuron is an electricity excitable cells that receive programs and transmit information through electrical and chemical signal. Okay, so once again I will repeat. When we will ask ourselves that what is neuron, then we will get an answer that neuron is an electricity excitable cells that receive, process and transmit information through electrical and chemical signals. Okay, so second point that we got from the study of neurons, that a typical neuron consists of cell body which is known as soma. Okay, I will underline the word cell body. This is known as soma. Then second part is dendrites. It is known as input channels. Third part is axons, and it is known as output channels. So three main parts are very important in this neuron study. First is cell body, which we used to say soma. Next is dendrites, which is known as inputs channels, and third is axon, that is output channels. Okay, so the excitations of signal is called firing. When we excite this signal, then only it passes from one cell to another, and this process of excitations of signal is called firing. Clear? This much is clear. Next we will discuss the next part, that is dendrites. What are dendrites? So we will define them. So dendrites are thin structures that arise from the cell body, often exciting for hundreds of micrometers and branching multiple times. Okay, once again I will repeat. Dendrites are thin structure that arises from the cell body, okay, often extending for hundreds of micrometers and branching multiple times. There are several branches in them, and they are so lengthy that when we will measure it, it is measured in micrometers. Okay, now we will discuss what is axon. So an axon is a special cellular extension that arises from the cell body and travels for a distance as far as 1 meter in human. Okay, so this was the definition of dendrites and axon. Okay, so in one line when we will discuss, then an axons from perceptrance neurons meet the dendrites of a post-semantic neurons at a synapse. Okay, so where the dendrites and this axon meets, this line discuss this. Once again I will repeat. An axons from a postsynaptics neurons meets the dendrites of a postsynaptic neurons at a synapse. We used to call it synapse. Okay. There are several graphical figures and diagrams available in our medium, that is online medium, as well as in the book which I have recommended in the previous time. So now we will cover the second part, that is neurons form huge structure and process in parallel. How it works means we have defined the neurons, we have defined the parts of neurons. Now we are discussing how the structure works. So neurons form huge structure and process in parallel. They process in parallel. So when we will go deep in this, so we will call it, the human brain is assumed to have in the order of 100 billion neurons and 10,000 times as many connections with a potential of large scale parallel activity. So think, once again I will repeat, the human brain is assumed to have in the order of 100 billion neurons and 10,000 times as many connections. So connections between axons and synapticas are calculated up to 10,000 times as many connections with the potential of large scale parallel activities. So when they are connecting, they are not just connected, they used to do some activities, and these activities are performed parallelly. Okay. Now write down the third topic. There are several diagrams to show how these perceptrons feed forward and neuron networks are formed. When we used to say that they are connected and processing parallelly, when we used to say connected, then the terms comes in our mind that when they are connected in so much huge capacity, then some network is forming. So in the next class we will discuss how these networks are formed and what are the general characteristics of this representation. Thank you.